What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. In today's video, we're going to be covering the best plays to be watching for this week in the market. We have some big news with Amazon, and overall, we have a great video, so make sure you guys stick around to the end. I hope you had, or we hope you had, an amazing Labor Day weekend. We have a lot of great things to talk about in today's video, but if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. But Tom, fill us in.
Yeah, I'm actually going to get straight into AMC today. And, I thought AMC's had a pretty good setup going on here. And there's actually a pretty good triple bottom going on right around $42.50 on the intraday charts. And you can see how AMC here really closed strong on Friday, up around $44 after hitting that support at $42.50. And we can see over the past like 5 or 6 trading days, AMC has been really consolidating on this level and then starting to rise. So I would really watch for AMC to possibly break out above $45 tomorrow morning or maybe sometime this week. And maybe we could get a pretty nice trade in on AMC, but the technicals are honestly lining up pretty good. Now, if we see AMC fall down and they fall below 42.50, then definitely look at AMC to the downside, or maybe just don't play it or find a different stock moving up. But either way, though, AMC looks pretty strong right now. And if it goes above 45, I think it could be a pretty good play. And we have other stocks kind of like Clover, MMAT, BBIG, and a lot of these stocks are kind of consolidating down here at their lower levels. And it just seems like they could be in for a little bit of a bounce up soon.
Very interesting. So we saw a ton of hype out of a bunch of different short squeeze stocks over the past 2 weeks. Like you mentioned, CLOV, BBIG, MMAT's running up pretty well. We had ANY popping last week. We had SPRT also popping. So there's definitely a lot of momentum in that like area of the market, you can say. Out of all of them, I like Clover the best, which is CLOV. It is definitely risky. I know it is definitely getting more attention on Wall Street Bets, though, which can definitely bring in more hype to the stock. But either way, they are risky plays, but my favorite is going to be Clover.
Yeah, and my favorite's actually AMC this time. Like I said, I'm just looking at it off those technicals for some time this week, and I love Clover, Mike, off of that $8 support down there. I think that was such a good buy for anyone who was playing the supports here on Clover. And, they'd be really happy if they grab shares or even calls down there. And I know a lot of people in the Discord were picking up leaps and stuff down here. So I hope it ends up going pretty well for everybody. And Clover's like getting close to their resistances. And I would think that we could maybe finally get a break up through there since it's like the 3rd or 4th time hitting them.
True that. And then, Tom, I saw that there was some pretty big news with Amazon. What's going on there?
Yeah, apparently they're going to be shipping cargo for outside customers on their own, like pretty much having like an Amazon, like their own planes and their own parcel service, kind of like what we see with UPS and FedEx. And it's saying on CNBC that Amazon is trying to compete with FedEx and UPS here. And it's almost like they're trying to monopolize the situation, almost like what we've seen in the past. Amazon is trying to get every aspect from the airplanes to the delivery vans to the production. Like they're trying to really control everything going on here. And it's pretty good for them. Amazon has been doing great on the daily chart. Just slow and steadily been going up here. And honestly, over the past 2 weeks, Amazon has been looking great off that 3,200 support.
No doubt about that. And I know that they had their own like planes for a while now, but I just think it's crazy how now they're like, offering, shipping services to outside customers. Like they're in everything, like I know AWS or Amazon Web Services is huge for them, but I'm very curious to see how this will impact UPS and FedEx over the long term, because we know how powerful Amazon is. And, normally when they open like a new branch of their business, like it's normally, you know what I mean? Like it's very competitive.
Yeah, and you can see that UPS's chart, like they're really getting overextended too. So maybe some extra competition in the market could make them start to fall off because, man, ever since COVID, I mean, UPS has had one of the best recoveries / over recoveries that I've ever seen out of a stock. And man, they've just done so good with COVID. And I guess people getting online more that, I mean, Amazon's like going to come in and take a piece of the market now from them.
For sure. And then I heard some interesting news with like the EV sector. What's going on there?
Yeah, CNBC had a pretty interesting article come out about Warren Buffett. He backs an electric car maker called BYD, and they reporting that Warren Buffett backed electric car maker BYD sees August sales surge more than 300%, and BYD sold 61,409 new energy vehicles in August, more than 4 times the amount sold a year ago, as demand for electric cars continue to rise around the world's largest auto market. And man, these EV stocks are really taking off. But something really interesting about BYD, or specifically BYDDY, if you're looking at it on the US market, because this is a Chinese company, so it has like a different ticker because it's on the OTC market right now. But this company is pretty good right now. Warren Buffett backs them, and their August sales surged 300%. That's awesome. But the cool thing to me is that they sold 61,000 new vehicles in August. Like, those are great numbers. And man, I've been looking for like NIO and some other companies like that to post great numbers similarly to BYD here. And look at BYDDY's chart. It looks really good, and we're really flying up here. And we're around all-time highs at $70, and Warren Buffett backs them. It just seems like a really interesting EV company right now, selling a lot of cars, while we have NIO, for example, kind of at their lower supports. And, they're in China too, but with this company reporting great sales numbers and stuff, NIO could end up going up for the longer term too if they start getting better sales. But either way, BYDDY or BYD seems like a great stock. And I just want to clarify really quick. Whenever we say BYDDY, if you type in ticker BYD, which is the company, you'll get Boyd Gaming, because this is a foreign stock. So you have to type in BYDDY to get this ticker.
Good stuff. And then, speaking of EV stocks, how's NEO looking? I know it's just been lingering around for like the past couple months. It was at $50 or so a couple months ago, and now it's coming all the way back down to like 40. What do you think with this one?
I personally think it's at a great level to buy right now. We just hit off the 35 support, and we're also bouncing off of $40, which has posed a huge support in the past as well. So we're definitely at two really key areas right now. And I think for the longer term, it's definitely a good time to buy. Even if you go back from the highs of just a couple weeks ago at like $46, if we bought in like right now and we rose back up to 46, that's still a nice 13% gain on the stock. Like, that's pretty good just for shares. And NIO looks great here at support, and I think it's just a great stock for the longer term, and I think I would get in. It's just the main thing right now is just that it's at support. It's been going down, but I would think right now is a good time to get in for the longer term. For the shorter term, it looks like it's pretty good too, maybe up to like 43 or 45, but man, I would hold these shares for a couple years if it was me.
Good stuff. So I also like it for the long term. That doesn't mean it's going to pop, tomorrow when market opens, but I do like it for the long term. So good stuff there. But Tom, let's get right into our member of the day. And today's member of the day is Wall Street Pirate 16. Huge shout out, Wall Street Pirate. Thanks for being a great member. I know you've been in the chat for quite some time now. So huge shout out, Wall Street Pirate. Thanks for being a great Discord member. We really appreciate it. But Tom, it is now time for the momentum plays. And with the first one, we have AAL to the downside.
Yeah, and with AAL, go ahead and make them break below 1930. I think that'll be the good level to at the bottom.
All right, with the next one, we have CCL.
CCL, Carnival Cruise. I don't know what's going on with this whole sector here, but make them fall down below 2264.
All right, and then with the last one, we have X.
US Steel, another one to the downside. Make them break below $26 even.
All right, so we are watching these three plays for potential day trades to the downside tomorrow. If they break below the levels Tom listed, we like them for quick day trades to the downside. But let's get right into the questions from the previous video. With the first comment, we have Castillo saying, SPY to the downside. So let's take a look. SPY, it's just been kind of going back and forth over like the past week. Technically, it did break all-time highs, but it is looking a little bit weak right now. I think it would be smart to maybe hedge yourself a little bit, maybe a couple SPY puts or like VIX calls.
Yeah, and in pre-market Friday, like you said, we broke all-time highs and it started to really run up, and then we just got that bad move to the downside. So we'll have to see how it ends up playing out this week. And, a lot of people are looking at the market right now thinking that it's overextended, which it definitely could be, but it seems like we just keep running and running up. But I definitely don't like that movement on Friday. That definitely seems pretty bearish.
All right, and then it doesn't hurt to just grab like a little hedge. Like if you don't know, like VXX normally rises when the market falls. So we could see it was up like 0.7% on Friday, and the market was technically the market was technically down a little bit. But VXX to the upside can definitely give you some protection when the market falls. And we have Ronald saying, "I bought 100 shares of Zoom and asking for advice." So. If you bought 100 shares of Zoom, let's say you got in at like 297, you can say, I highly, highly, highly recommend what's called a covered call. Let's say, like I said, you got in at 297. You can sell like the 325 strike call that expires on September 17th, and you can get paid like $150 cash for that. And no matter what, you're going to keep that 150. But if Zoom closes above 325 on your expiration date, then you have to sell your shares at the strike price, which is 325. So it's kind of a win-win. If the stock pops up, you sell you get that 150 premium and you sell your shares at a nice price. But if it falls down, then you just get like that little premium. So either way, it's a win-win in my opinion. And then we also have people talking about MMAT and how it's going to the moon, Tom. So what are you thinking with this one? I know it's just been like not really doing anything for the past couple months, but it does look pretty decent right now.
Yeah, it does. It's starting to really run up. And the thing is like once we broke $5, we had a nice run up over the past couple days. But the stock started to look pretty strange to me on Friday. But the one thing I'm happy about is that it held that $5.25 support. I think that's a really good level for it to hold. As long as we hold that, I think that there is potential. And look at this on the daily chart. Like, I'll be honest, this looks like a pretty good setup here, and we are in that upwards type of momentum right now. So like, at least we're not trying to buy in on the downside or anything, trying to time anything crazy or anything like that. I think it could definitely be a pretty good momentum play and maybe a good swing. But my main thing is for Monday, I would definitely try to make it break out above $6 if it was me, or at least $5.50 at the lowest.
All right, and then we have Louise saying, how do you guys see Mastercard? Do you see it bouncing up anytime soon? So to be completely honest with you, like when I look at the max weekly on Mastercard and even the daily chart, I can definitely see it falling more. It just had a crazy run up, and they're a solid company and all, but I still think in the grand scheme of things, they're a little bit overbought.
Yeah, and who knows? I've heard a lot of people saying that these credit card companies have been getting pretty crazy lately. And who knows, like if some weird laws come out about credit or something like that, it could really hurt them. And I'm with you, they're up quite a bit. And whenever they're up this much, like ever since 2011 and stuff, that's pretty crazy. I mean, they've definitely had some good moves, but I'm with you. I could see it coming down in like the shorter term, as in like the next 3 to 6 months, maybe.
All right, and then we have Whitney saying Mastercard and Visa are majorly oversold on the daily time frame, and both are hitting or are close to major supports. What do you think about long options for both or either? So, always trust your gut, Whitney. Personally, I disagree with this one. Especially when you look at that max weekly chart. It's had, yeah, in my opinion, it's definitely still overbought. 300 will be a pretty big support, and then another pretty big support on Mastercard is around 320. So honestly, over like the next couple months, I would not be surprised if we tested 320.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. That's a pretty good support on Mastercard. And just looking at it on the daily, like, man, if you could get it at 320, I think that would be a decent pickup for shares for the long term. And even if it goes down to 300 or a little bit lower, you're getting it at a pretty good price. So I think it's decent to start to average in there at least.
All right, and then we have Jeff saying, what do you think of Corsair? So CRSR, he said he has a feeling it might explode soon. High short interest, solid company, undervalued stock. So I actually really like Corsair, both for the short term and the long term.
Yeah, me too. I think for the long term, it's even better. Short term for me, it's pretty hard to say, just because it is holding support pretty good at like 28.50, which is awesome. As long as we hold that, I like it. And for the long term, I really love it. I think for like the next few years, they could be a lot higher than they are now. And looking at it, I would say like, it looks like there's a lot of resistance up here at like the 100 SMA and like right around that $30 area.
Good stuff. So, guys, if you want to trade with Tom, myself, and our bots every single day, you can click that first link in the description down below. Daily options, swing trades, day trades, order flow bots, a bunch of different custom bots. You can cancel at any time. And the play's been doing pretty well lately. You also have access to a premium community, to great community, and you can chat with Tom and myself all day long. So definitely check it out. It's that first link in the description down below. Daily options, swing trades, day trades, and a bunch of other plays every single day. But Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or anything you're watching for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm really watching CRSR up this bottom support. And I think I'm going to mention a stock that I normally don't mention here at the end of the video, but AMC is looking pretty good off that triple bottom there at like 42.50. I think it's a pretty good level right now, and we're sitting right at like 44. So as long as we can get a good move up tomorrow, I think it would be a pretty solid play. If you start to see some momentum, who knows, you might be able to hop in for a pretty decent trade if you know what you're doing. So it could end up being pretty good. I like the setup on AMC. Also still eyeing up GLD, which we talked about a little bit last week, but they had a fantastic Friday. GLD did, really flying up, and I'll really be looking for the metal to just continue up this week.
Good stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. But other than that, thanks for watching.